It's time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJPorr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Keg Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsors.
Guys, we're back. I'm slacking. Got to get through some more of these through them. It's a pleasure. Getting to some more SJPorr beers. This is 83K-93M-78T, a New Zealand Pale Ale. It is, ooh, another light came on. It is a 40 IBU, 4.3 ABV Pale Ale, OG 1052, Final Gravity 1019. Maybe a little sweetness left, we'll see. On the website, gives a little bit more color by saying it was made with Super Alpha and Matuika. It was bottled from the keg. So here we go. Yeah. Gonna pour it all the way in, I suppose. Been hanging out in the fridge a while, so we'll see how we roll. It's a little bit darker, but not out of style for a pale. A little aggressive with the pour. Good carb. Didn't have to get crazy with it. So it's not clear, which is fine. It's a cool color. It sounds really bad. It's a little dingy. It's a little, it's not a beautiful beer. It's not terrible. It's a little, can't see through it. But nothing innately bad. It's just not necessarily that pretty either. You had a nice little head when I was first pouring it. It's kind of died down a little bit, but you've got some supporting bubbles coming up from the side. It's a little loose. The bubbles are a little big, but nothing bad. You got a little bit of a cap hanging around. You got kind of a deep, cloudy, burnt orange kind of look to it. Kind of a dark, dark copper, almost to an amber. Not a bad looking beer. Not beautiful either. Let's get a nose. Alright, so you get some good, nice hop notes off of it, like you would expect. You also get a little bit of caramel sweetness, I think, off the nose. That time I got just a tiny hit of toffee. But for the most part, hops are shining through. Little underlying sweetness. A little bit of a nondescript or non-specific fruity essence coming out to me. A little bit of citrus. But nothing that I'm absolutely tying to something in particular. Cheers to the brewer. Let's dive in. Giving it 3 sips. That's a great beer. I was a little turned off by the lack of assertive presence in the nose. But the flavor's wonderful. Wow. Up front, the hop presence shines. It is a pale. It's not an IPA, which is nice. A lot of these pale ales you get, and it's like, boom, still hit you with the hops, and it's an IPA. This is a pale. It's not overly bitter. It's got a nice bitter backbone. But that's not what stands out. It's the floral. It's a floral, fruity note. For whatever reason, it's the Matsueka, obviously, predominant. But it almost reminds me a little bit of Mosaic, and it's got almost kind of a fruity berry character to it, along with some floral, flowery kind of notes. I'm really digging. You can swirl it back up. It gets a nice kind of pillowy head when you swirl it back. So it's got good carbonation. Mouthfeel is beautiful. It's not too thin. It's got some residual sweetness to it. It's got just a little bit of caramel to it. I'm impressed. Carb is spot on. I thought it was going to be a little bit low, but it's not at all. All right, I got to put this down, score it, come back with the last feed. All right, I'm back. Scored, tried to get some thoughts around this. Beautiful beer. My only gripes, as I noted in the scoring, are not really damning. The nose, while pretty good smelling aroma, wow, that was redundant. It's underwhelming. It's nothing really jumps out of your glass. You kind of have to dig for some of the hop is there, but you kind of have to dig. It's not just, it's underwhelming. Albeit fine. It smells fine. And then it's obviously pretty hazy, and the color is dark enough, kind of burnt orange, that one or the other would have been completely fine, but the combination of the haze plus the color makes it look a little muddy and not the most inviting in the world, which for me doesn't really matter, but if we're being critical, those are my two gripes. The flavor is delicious. The hops combined with the malts balances it out nice. You get great punchy hop flavor, but not overly so. I love that it's a pale. It is a pale. It's a true pale. It's not a hopped up. It's not an IPA. Phone yelled at me again for space. I'll wrap this up. Great beer. Really a big fan. Flavor amazing. Mouthfeel's incredible. Nice, silky, creamy. Not thin, carbonation spot on, really well brewed beer. So this is the New Zealand Pale Ale from 83K-93M-78T. Cheers, my friend. Good luck in the challenge. This is a good one. Y'all have a good one.